Hello, I'm Ayd Instone, and I recently gave a talk in the Netherlands on how to be unique. Here's a specially edited version just for you. Let's take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. It is my unique pleasure to introduce to you a friend and colleague from the United Kingdom whose specialisation is creativity. If you want to get out of your comfort zone and learn what makes you unique, you are in the right place. Welcome to Ayd Instone.
Oh yeah. How good do you look when you're not, how do you sell when you're not in the room? The answer, of course, as we know, is your brand. And I deal with people creating their expertise brands. This is the bit of the view that you can sell. I'm interested in the secret of influencing people remotely using visual communication, which is what branding and design is. But design is interesting. People think they're not very good at it, or they think it's not that important. And yet everybody here is a designer, and you are good at design. An example is that everybody came dressed appropriately for this type of business meeting. You knew how to dress for this type of meeting, with various degrees of success, obviously. So why is it that when you have your materials, how come you send them out looking less than world class? Why is that? So I was in a meeting with a speaker was talking about something. He did sort of a warm-up exercise, and we were all sat on tables of 10. And the speaker said, "Hold up your business card, and we're going to hold up your business cards, and everybody vote for the best one on each table." So I voted for mine, obviously. But so did everybody else on the table. And I think that's wrong. The woman opposite said, "You can't vote for your own." And I said, "You've got to vote for your own. You have to vote for your own. Everybody on this table shouldn't have voted for mine. They should have voted for their own. They should have voted. You should vote for your own brand." So why is it that people have what they think is their business card, they think is their brand, and they're ashamed to put it out there? And the reason is, I think, is because what they put on their business card on their website isn't their brand. Because their brand should be them. It should be them. Design is not a veneer that feels that you just put on top to hide all the rubbish underneath. It's not a gloss, like a lip gloss that you put on to cover up all the cracks. Your brand is what's flowing all the way through. Your design is flowing all the way through, or should be. So how do we do it? How do we find what our authentic uniqueness is? And we could begin by asking this question. It's an interesting question. Why? What is the point of you? What is the point? Why are you here? What is the point of you? And I asked myself this question, and I came up with an answer, which effectively is a sort of, in a way, a vision statement, or a mission statement. So my vision statement ended up being this: to create and inspire environments where creativity flourishes, where people experiment with innovative ideas, using their uniqueness to their fullest potential. And when I defined myself like that, something interesting happened. It meant that there were certain jobs that I shouldn't do. There are certain jobs that I actually can't do. And importantly as well, there are certain jobs that I should seek out. And this meant for me that I should do more work in schools. It's interesting what happens when you have when you define a mission statement such as that. But how do we get there? How can we possibly get there? I believe that people start to brand themselves from where they are now. And if you do that, then you end up doing the veneer that I talked about. I think we need to go on a journey to find who we are, not by moving forwards, but by moving around in full circle to find out who we were all along. Now I'd like to show you this. This is my exercise book from the first year at school. I was 11. Here it is. I was in class 1N. And I wrote a story. And something interesting, you may notice it there. It says I got 12 out of 10. Excellent. Please ignore the spelling on the bit below. Now that tells us one of two things. Either I'm an exceptionally gifted storyteller, or my English teacher can't do maths. But I love storytelling. From an early age, I love storytelling and writing stories. I would write them whether I was asked to or not. There's another thing I like doing. I liked drawing. I like drawing, and I would draw the adventures of this guy, my little action figure. I actually brought him, but he's backstage actually. But there he is. He's gone on adventures with me. He's come to Holland with me. There he is. And I would draw comic strips based on Boba Fett. There he is. So that's me, age 12, drawing those comic strips. These are ones when I was 10. So this is me drawing my comic strips, age 10. And this is me drawing. What's this one? Well, this is my other passion, Doctor Who and the Daleks. So there we are. Drawing. So that's me, age 12. But I want to show you this. These two drawings, age 15, were the last drawings I did. I stopped drawing. I wanted to be a comic strip artist. That was my dream. But age 15, just shortly after I drew these, I gave up on it. I gave up on it because I thought, I'm not talented enough. I'm not good enough. Because if I had talent, then I would be as good as the comic strips that I was buying in the store. I would be as good as those, and I clearly wasn't as good as those, so I thought, I haven't got talent, I'll give it up. What did you give up through lack of recognition or encouragement way back when? What passion did you give up on? At the same age, I was still writing stories when I was at 15, and I wrote, actually I want to show you this one as well. This is the one that was on the screen. It's not on a piece of paper, it is done as a book. Look, there it is. Look, it's done as a book. It's even got currency exchanges on it. You know, I wanted these things to look real. Even back then, I wanted them to look as best as I could make them. This is a non-linear story. A non-linear story is? It's a choose-your-own-adventure story. It's where you, do you want to go and see the wizard, turn to page 40. Do you want to fight the monster, turn to page 100, this sort of thing. And I did this. I wrote this story, whether I wasn't asked to do it, I did it anyway. And my English teacher came across it, and it prompted a letter to my parents. Different English teacher to the other. And the letter said, we need to stop this indulgence in fantasy. So age 15, I stopped drawing, I stopped writing. And now I went on a different path, and I got a degree in physics. I was interested in it, but I wasn't passionate about it. So to define your authentic self, you'll find your uniqueness. You will find, when you search this full circle story, you'll find a turning point. And I want to tell you my turning point. I'd done a degree in physics, as I said. At the end of that, I was at the university, and they had a college newspaper, a student newspaper. 8 pages, 8 people wrote for it, 8 people read it. And I think I can do better than that. I can do better than that. But you had to get voted in to do it. And since I only had 8 mates, I wasn't going to, be able to get voted in. So I had to learn how to do marketing pretty quick. And I did. And I got a landslide victory, and I got into the power. And I changed it into a 48-page magazine. And we had the most student contributors before or since. We had 60 people working on this magazine every month. And I found out I had a new interest that I didn't realise I had. Somebody would come to the office, people who'd never get involved in this sort of thing before, and they would come to the office, and I'd say, okay, what do you want to do? What's your passion? They say, I like poetry. Okay, you're the poetry editor. I say, okay, what's your passion? What do you like doing? I like bands. Okay, take this and go down to the venue, and you will get free entry, and you'll be able to review the bands for the magazine. Take it to the record shop, and you will be able to get free singles to review for the magazine. She said, brilliant. So off she went down to the venue to watch the band, and she came back with this review. She said, I interviewed them. I've got an interview with the band. Now, I've never heard of them. And I've got some photos. Who are they? I don't know. And she said, well, I think they're going to be massive. And I thought, okay, we'll take a chance. We'll put it on the front cover. There they are. It's a band called Oasis. 2 months before anyone had heard of them. 2 months before they went massive. There we are. And the interview is quite interesting because it's before they were gobby. It's actually quite a revealing interview first. But then I was in this ideal job. Can you imagine creating a job as wonderful as this? I was designing, drawing. I was writing. I was on a stage. I was motivating people. I was inspiring people. And it was just a brilliant job, but it came to an end because it wasn't a real job, it was a student job. and I had to get an ordinary job. And ordinary jobs, as we know, they only allow you to do that much of what you want to do. I was working in television graphics, which sounds exciting, but it wasn't. We were creating training materials and the manuals. We printed the manuals out the back, the printer out the back. You could print one, or you could print 1,000. Now these days we call that print on demand, but then we called it the printer out the back. I thought, hang on a minute, if I hang around here after work, I could collect together all my sort of scripts and comedy routines that I've done with my friend Jess, and we could make a book. And so I made the book. There it is. The Ayd and Jace anthology, full of all our humour. There it is, look at that. And it's sold out. It's saturated the target market. Copy for me, copy for Jace. Then I started to get clever, did another one from another mate. So all my mates got a book for Christmas. Their own book. So I was into creating books. Now, oh, I wanted to show you something about it. It's got a barcode on it. This is 1995. It's got a barcode on it. I didn't know how to do barcodes, so I just got my rotary and technical pen and drew some lines. When I came to when I was doing my band, the same thing happened with my band, with my CDs for my band. I didn't know how to do barcodes then. So for good luck, I copied the one off the Beatles' first LP. When we went into the record shop to buy our own record, and look, it's coming up with a different product here. I have come full circle because here we are. Here I am. This was at age 12, creating a book, and here's me now creating my book and other people's books. So I'm pretty pleased. I found out that I was me all along. You see, I was me all along. You got to do